Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Man allegedly attacks cop with knife, fatally shot. A man who was earlier given $200 by a policeman was fatally shot after he attacked and injured the cop with a knife. The bizarre incident occurred yesterday morning at Snow Hill in Portland. Up to press time, the dead man had not been identified. The policeman is assigned to the St. Mary Division. It is reported that about 11:30 a.m., the policeman was at the front of a house doing work when a man dressed in black pants and black Adidas slippers approached and asked for directions to Port Antonio. They talked briefly, and as the man was about to leave, the policeman, in a kind gesture, took a parcel of money from his pants pocket and gave the man $200 for his taxi fare. The man walked away, and the cop continued working. However, a few minutes later, the policeman heard footsteps behind him and turned around to see the man with a long black handle, silver blade knife in his right hand. The man reportedly attacked the cop using the knife to stab at him. The policeman raised his right hand to prevent the knife from stabbing him in his face and as a result was cut on his right arm. The man allegedly continued to advance towards the cop, who pulled his service firearm and fired 3 shots in the man's direction. The man dropped the knife, ran from the premises, and fell along the roadway. He was found to be bleeding from his chest and was taken to the Port Antonio Hospital, where he was pronounced dead about 12:05 p.m. The Independent Commission of Investigations (INDECOM) has since been notified of the incident. Horace Daly filed $80,000 for not filing statutory declaration. Former Member of Parliament Horace Daly has been fined $80,000 after pleading guilty to the charge of failing to file a statutory declaration under the Integrity Commission Act. Daly, who did not appear in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on April 26 when the matter was first mentioned, citing an illness for his absence, stood before Chief Parish Judge Chester Crooks on Tuesday. Daly was accused of failing to file his statutory declaration for the period 2020 to 2021. His attorney at law, Charles Ganja Singh, apologized on Daly's behalf for his absence, then proceeded to disclose that he had since filed the necessary documents. "I plead guilty, Your Honor, and I apologize for my negligence, which has since been filed and in good standing with the Commission," Daly said when asked by the prosecution how he pleads. Following his plea, Daly was handed an $80,000 fine or 30 days imprisonment. Popcorn detained by UK immigration calls on Prime Minister Holness for help. Dancehall artist Popcorn is calling on Prime Minister Holness to investigate reasons behind his detention in the United Kingdom, UK. In a post to his Instagram stories on Tuesday, July 5th, the firm and Strong DJ disclosed that he was detained by authorities in the UK, who advised him they were acting on information received from his home country. In a brief video clip, Popcorn is seen sitting inside what is believed to be an airport. He is holding a piece of paper which he claimed was advisory from Jamaica to the UK to stop him from entering the country. "I am in the UK right now, and they gave me this paper and detained me because of information that was sent by my country that I should be stopped every time I'm here. I wonder why," he questioned, as he called on the Prime Minister to address the matter. "Mr. Prime Minister, I would like to draw your attention to this once again. This is not the first time that Popcorn has issues with immigration in the UK. In January, the entertainer also took to social media to reveal that he had been held in immigration for a number of hours after information allegedly received from the Jamaican government dubbed him as a gang leader. "I would like to know why someone with authority in Jamaica sent information to England immigration that I'm a gang leader and I got charged with firearm. This is not cool at all from my own country. Why I have to be sitting in immigration for over 3 hours?" he tweeted at the time. The entertainer, whose birth name is Andre Sutherland, also called on Entertainment Minister Olivia Babsy Grange at the time to also investigate the matter. At Babsy_Grange, "I tried to ask you for help with this before. Why people from my own country fighting Popcorn and telling lies about me and sending it to other countries? I don't know what caused it, but it needs to be off my name," he tweeted. Police Commissioner urges continued public support in crime fighting. Crediting good police work and public support for the capture of accused quintuple Clarendon murderer Washane Barnett, Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson is urging Jamaican citizens to continue supporting the Jamaica Constabulary Force crime-fighting efforts. In a digital press conference held on Tuesday, the top cop vowed that the police will continue to use all the tools available to us to seize illegal guns, pursue the gangs, and go after the money used to fund them, and encourage law-abiding Jamaicans to continue to support us by saying something if you see or hear something. While basking in the fact that the JCF was able to capture Barnett within the first 24 hours after he allegedly killed a mother and her 4 children in Clarendon, Anderson said no amount of good police work and public support can diminish the tragic nature of the event. Although a pall of gloom still hangs over the country as a result of the gruesome Clarendon killings, Anderson reported an overall 1% reduction in major crimes across the island since the start of 2022 and a 4.4% reduction in murders since the JCF last press briefing in June. Since our last press briefing, we have managed to reduce the gap in murders from 6.3%, as was reported then, to 1.9% as of the end of June. This represents a 4.4% reduction in murders over that period, he stated. Robberies and break-ins, however, have been on the increase. When questioned on the reason behind the rise in the number of robberies island-wide, the commissioner shared that with the citizens now falling back into their regular routine since the start of the pandemic in March 2022, robbery statistics are trending back to pre-COVID levels. Woman on drug charges allegedly assaulted while in police custody. A woman charged with drug trafficking was reportedly assaulted while in police custody, her attorney told the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Courts on Tuesday. The woman, whose identity is being withheld for her protection, stood before Chief Parish Judge Chester Cooks to answer to charges of conspiracy to export cocaine, possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, and attempting to export cocaine. The allegations are that on Sunday, June 26, the woman attempted to board a JetBlue airplane scheduled to leave the island for New York City, United States. After going through the necessary security measures, an unusual bulge was detected on her person, court documents disclosed. A search was carried out where airport officials found 3 irregular parcels in her bra. According to court documents, it was later discovered that the parcels amount to 2.5 pounds of cocaine. The woman was then questioned by the police and charged. However, the case quickly turned into a closed matter when the judge, upon the request from the woman's attorney, requested that both the media and other individuals slated to have their case mentioned were asked to exit the courtroom to allow the attorney, who had made a bail application, to provide sensitive details about the assault. In a bid to have the accused's bail application denied, the investigating officer told the court that she was a frequent traveler. Before being asked to leave the courtroom, reporters understand that a medical report concerning the assault was presented to the judge. Although the media was not privy to the argument that the woman's attorney made on her behalf for bail application, because a part of the attorney's argument supposedly entailed the assault, it was understood that the bail application was initially denied, but she was then granted bail as there was a COVID-19 outbreak at the prison she was to be held. I'm offering you bail in the sum of $500,000 with 1 or 2 sureties. That means up to 2 persons can come together to bail you. Your passport will be surrendered to the court's office, Judge Cook said. The judge advised the woman that a psychiatric evaluation was ordered for her. She is to report to the nearest police station on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, anytime between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., and she is bound over to return to court on September 14. Would-be robber knob in St. Elizabeth. The quick response of the Malvern police in St. Elizabeth led to the arrest of a 31-year-old man who attempted to rob a household at Kinnell District in the parish. The would-be robber has been identified as Romel Bromfield, a labourer also of the district. Reports are that about 12:30 a.m. on Sunday, July 3rd, one of the occupants of the house went into the kitchen and spotted the robber. She raised an alarm and he fled through the back door. However, the Malvern police quickly responded and Bromfield was held shortly after. He was subsequently charged with burglary. His court date is being finalized. Investigators say they are exploring leads to ascertain whether Bromfield would be involved in other break-ins and robberies in the area. Clark announces $2.7 billion in additional social intervention expenditure. Finance and Public Service Minister Dr. Nigel Clark has announced $2.7 billion of additional social intervention expenditure, including an allocation of $750 million for an independence clean-up of parish capitals campaign. Of the amount, $550 million will be allocated to the National Solid Waste Management Authority and $189 million through members of Parliament via the Constituency Development Fund (CDF). Clark, who made the announcement during Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives, said amounts allocated via the CDF can be used for beautification, bushing and drain cleanage activity. The Finance Minister also announced the allocation of $150 million for the trucking of water under the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development to areas experiencing water challenges due to the erratic nature of rainfall island-wide and especially in the parish of St. Elizabeth, Clarendon and Portland, but not limited to these parishes. There will also be $550 million in general welfare support for beneficiaries who are not on the Program of Advancement through Health and Education path in the following amount: $189 million through the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, $189 million through the CDF for welfare and economic enablement activities, $70 million through municipal corporations for welfare and economic support, $52 million for poor relief through MLGRD, and $50 million through the MLSS Public Assistance Department. Additionally, Clark said $550 million has been allocated to pensioners at the bottom of the income ladder, $450 million for 45,000 NIS pensioners who receive pensions less than $15,000 per month, and $100 million for 10,000 social pensioners who are not part beneficiaries. Clark also announced $1.789 billion in back-to-school one-off grants, which will be implemented through the MLSS and directed towards 160,000 part school-age children. In addition, $189 million in back-to-school education grants and assistance to non-part vulnerable students through the CDF will also be provided. You will note a total of $9 million per constituency in addition support to the Constituency Development Fund for the above-mentioned activities. I am advised by the CDF that each Member of Parliament would consult with the Director, CDF, to be guided on the administration of these additional allocations, Clark told his fellow Members of Parliament. He explained that the additional $2.7 billion bring to $3.8 billion the amount in social intervention expenditure provided by the government. He said $1.1 billion is already accounted for its budget, while incrementally $2.7 billion expenditure will initially be funded by advances from existing budgeted resources. These advances will be cleared following regularization of expenditure in the first supplementary estimates 2022-2023, Clark said. In justifying the additional expenditure, Clark pointed out that the world is facing challenging times. After enduring 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic, the worst pandemic in 100 years, the historic economic contraction induced around the world now faces the highest level of global inflation in 40 years. Supply chain pressures related to the dynamics of COVID-19 had a negative impact on prices towards the latter half of 2021, he noted. Clark reminded that in his closing budget presentation he announced $3.5 billion of measures to alleviate the impact of these conditions, including $800 million to provide assistance to public transport operators as a means of protecting the sustainable number of the Jamaican who depend on public transportation, $750 million for a food assistance program targeting 75,000 Jamaicans, $152 million for an increase in the allocation towards transportation assistance to students and PATH, and approximately $2 billion to the GOG Energy Copay, where the Jamaica government contributes 20% of the JPS bill for all postpaid households that consume 200 kWh of electricity or less per month over the 4-month period of April 2022 to July 2022, as well as $3,000 per month over the same period for prepaid residential customers. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.